Ladies and gentlemen, day 4 at the Barra Nationals. Absolute ripper of a day down here. It's coming to a close. All I can say is I've seen more fish today than I've seen in years. It was an absolute fantastic day. Congratulations to the Palmerston Game Fishing Club. I tell you what, this was an outstanding national fishing competition and put on by an army of volunteers. All kudos and congratulations to the Palmerston Game Fishing Club. I don't know how they've done it, but one of the things that is incredible is their sponsors. Some of their sponsors, Reedy's, Hummingbird, these guys have been with them for 25 years, and I want to read them out because I think it's really, really important we acknowledge these guys. I tell you what, without me specs anyway. So I want to thank Ingle. Ingle have been a great major sponsor. Wilson have been a great sponsor. Hummingbird, Minn Kota, Reedy's, Forex and Dream Media. So all the guys, now there's a heap of other sponsors. Check them out on the website. But first and foremost, thanks to all the guys that have pulled off this national comp. Now here's a cracking story, this one. Yesterday, I've been working behind the scenes doing all this media stuff. So I've been sitting here in the daytime, twiddling my thumbs, hearing all the stories come back and watching all the fishermen coming in and high-five. Well, I drove back to Darwin and got my bloody boat, didn't I? Well, drove back in, and today I was fortunate enough to be one of the camera boats. And I tell you what, I saw something I've never seen before on the river. Check this out. One of the Daily River's international pro fishermen, just carving it up. Tell us what was the technique? How'd you do it?
Jaeger bombs.
Jaeger bombs, yes!
3 years in the making this fish, and my God, a load is just off my shoulders.
And kudos to Reedy's for the lure.
Reedy lure.
Yeah, Reedy
Yes.
lure. Yep.
So just for me, what was the drop on the dax thing? What was it? That's
Well,
a ritual or?
Well, it's an old rugby thing. If you score your first try or your first whatever, it's pants down.
Pants down.
Pants down.
So
100%.
that's an image I'm not going to forget for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Yeah, beauty. Good mate.
Woo! Pete, welcome to the show, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Firstly, how many Jaeger bombs have you had?
About 8, I think. I think 8.
Tell the guys how it actually happened. It was a very cool moment.
Well, we're just trolling there, and you guys come along, and you said, wouldn't it be great if you come along and just got a 75 or whatever, and then I'm just like trolling and jigging and whatever, and then Wooshka, 75.
I think you actually, hang on, you left out, I think you sort of gave me the bird and like, mate, as if that's going to happen. 3 years I've been trying.
Yeah, 3 years.
That weight was lifted.
Oh, yeah. It was just like, yeah, it was like Titanic sort of moment. It was. It really was a Titanic moment.
Thanks for coming up, and we really appreciate your
Yeah.
support coming up. We'll teach you how to fish properly next year.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Pete.
you.
Mate, that was an absolute cracker. We had a great time. Now, my very next 2 guests, unfortunately, are not here. They're working hard in the kitchen, but they've set in the Commander-in-Chief, the media advisor, the gentleman that fixed the toilets and the power. Welcome, Russell.
Yes, thank you, mate.
Mate, the eldest son of Wally and Kerry. How are you, mate?
Very well, very well.
So, mate, you definitely have a face for radio, eh?
That's what they tell me, mate.
So, mate, look, seriously, congratulations. Pulling an event this size off. Like, people don't understand the complexity of working remote. We are remote. And occasionally generators go down. But listen, I want to say, how on earth do you pull off a major event like this in the middle of nowhere?
Well, mate, we've been doing this for since 98 now. We've had the pleasure of hosting this event for them, and the systems we have in place now, the team, just like the Palmerston game, the committee they have is a wonderful team. They support us along the way, and it just all comes together for this week, and we make it happen, and it happens well.
So, mate, the accommodation is fantastic. Absolutely ripper. I've been staying here all week. How on earth do you put such quality... You know, I realise I have to go home to my wife now, and, you put the bar up with the standards and food. It's been fantastic.
Well, the cook we have, Chefy, he is fantastic. He does a wonderful job in that kitchen. and he keeps everyone happy, we like to think.
So how many beds have you got here? Or tell us what the accommodation is.
So accommodation-wise, we can fit about 50 vans in, and we have about 40 rooms.
Okay, yep. And so it's literally just call up, hey, Wally, Kerry, need a bed for a week, and you can feed me, look after me, and get me a dinghy.
We can do it all, mate. You get on the blower, give us a call. We can make anything you want happen. We'll do it all.
We're speaking to the media advisor here, mate. Hey, listen, congratulations. Please thank Mum and Dad and all the family, the staff, just outstanding. I mean, absolutely outstanding. Well done.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Awesome, mate. Thank you. Now, next one, we have the leaders of the competition. I'm going to ask Rocky to come in, and Dave. Dead Fishy. Now, these guys have been right up there all week, and we sort of joke a little bit around, but there's a very serious, you'll meet these guys, very serious side to the competition. It's fun, but these guys are dinky die, and they're very, very excited about potentially being right up there and nudging number one position. How are you feeling?
A bit nervous, a bit worried. It's day 4.
Day 4?
Just don't know what's going to happen from here on, so trying to maintain our score.
Yeah. So they obviously don't announce the scores tonight, so nobody actually knows where we really sit. So tell me, Dave, what's been the strategy that's enabled you to sort of stay up in that position all week?
I think, I've fished a lot of these, and the strategy has to be consistency. But you also have to, what you did yesterday won't work today. You have to vary it with the tides. You have to know where you're going, and you have to have a good boat. Like, we're lucky this year in that we've got a lot faster boat. Yep. We've got a total of 48 inches of echo sounder screens all over it, and we can see the fish swimming. I watched one eat Malua yesterday.
Really?
It's quite amazing, the technology that we've managed to get in this boat that we're in, and it goes over 100k, which is really scary.
You realise as we get older, you meant to slow down a little bit. You guys are going the opposite direction.
Yeah, well, we're normally in the slowest boat in the field, slowest and smallest, so we sort of leave in the dark and get back in the dark. But now, we're having showers in daylight, we're ripping through rock bars,
cappuccinos.
Yeah.
You guys are really roughing it up here, aren't you?
Yeah, we even got valet parking. Boat delivery, pick up at the ramp. This has been the best trip ever.
So tell me about this. So how many years have you fished the river?
Oh, I've probably fished it since about 2006, but Greenie's been doing it
I've
much
been
longer.
fishing it since 91.
Okay, so for me, today was my first time. I grew up in the Territory. It was the first time I was on the daily. Everybody said to me, never fish the daily without going with someone first because it's quite treacherous. So what are the challenges for professional fishermen that come here in this river?
I think the first thing is, we spent a couple of days just going up and down slowly to work out our tracks and getting through the rocks. And each wet season, there's new sort of challenges, new trees, new stumps. Yeah. The river actually moves. Since I've been coming here in 91 down at Alligator Heads, the river's moved over a kilometre on the GPS. So if you follow your GPS track of where the river is, you'll be up on the bank.
You mentioned the tides, but I'm really interested to understand, has there been any patterns in the fish? Has there been, you said it's been very different every day. Has that been true?
Yeah, no, the patterns in the fish are the last time I was here in 2019, where it was the end of 2 poor wet seasons, and the river was just devoid of life. Yeah. I fished for 8 days and never caught a legal barra, which just reflected the lack of food in the river, and the fish don't come up if there's nothing to eat. Yeah. This year, food is abundant. There's plenty of baby barra. We got a 95 that Rocky caught the other day, and it was spat up 6 small barra, about 15, 20 centimetres long. Yeah, right. So there's obviously a lot of activity in the river. There's heaps of mullet. The cherubin pots are full of cherubin.
I do wish you the best. You've been up there all week, very, very consistent, but obviously highly competitive out there. Good to see a couple of girl teams out there, and good to see one of the ladies in the boat who holds her own.
Oh, well, I'd like to think I do. I have my bad days too.
But seriously, all the very, very best for tomorrow, and good luck going back to the Gold Coast. And a high five for the locals. Yeah, baby. It's day 4, and Karen, come on in, mate. That we have I don't know how you explain you explain what tonight is.
Well, it's the second last night, tomorrow's last day of competition, right? So back when I started many, many years ago, we're like, what can we do with these guys? There's pressure with the competition. There's people who just know they're not in the competition anymore. what would be the best thing we could get some fun out of. Hence came along the Ironman.
Real Ironman, pumping iron.
When it first started, it was the retro, have a warm beer and eat a cold pie. And then it kind of grew and developed from there, along with a bit of exercise. And there's always a skill part in it as well.
Okay.
The ending part is they have to hit some kind of target. And it's quite difficult now too.
So bullet point me, give me the obstacle course.
So tonight we've made it really easy, but it's fun. And we decided to go, because it's our 25 years, we decided to go back to that retro that we started with. So we're going to kick off with, we're going to water them down first with some water bombs. We're getting the audience involved this year.
Yep.
So they'll get to throw the water bombs at them. They're going to have a broomstick and run around in a circle so we get them all nice and dizzy. And then they're going to try and slide down the top that's covered with detergent and covered also in flour. So they won't be able to see what they're doing. They have no disoriented. Go do some push-ups, warm beer, run around, do some sit-ups, cold pie, get them tired, and then get them to the Weet-Bix station. Can't move, can't leave until every morsel is gone from their mouths. And by that stage, they're dry mouth, they're tired, they're exhausted. So once they get through that, then the final stage is to cast their lures, and they have to hit this little target. It's about this big, for about 20, 30 meters away. Whoever gets to burst those water bombs we have on that target, it's a $500 cash prize. Woo. Thanks to Dan from Total Steel. He always takes care of us.
Good.
It's pretty amazing. It's a very prestigious prize.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap up, but I want to say to you, you've been up emceeing all week, an absolute sterling job. Your commitment to help out the club behind the scenes, your attitude, it's just flowed. Incredible, mate. Congratulations. I want to say congratulations to the Palmerston Game Fishing Club again, a national comp held out here in remote Australia. I don't know how they pull it off, but they've got an army of volunteers. The atmosphere is electric, but ladies and gentlemen, they'll be bigger and brighter next year. But we're not going to do this tomorrow night. We're just going to announce the winners, and they're going to turn it over to the Ironman competition. So good luck,
Thank you.
and we'll see you tomorrow night for the winners.